Welcome back everyone. Today I want to talk about the leaks surrounding the Fallout TV show. In my last video, I mentioned that the show has begun filming and production, as well as casting actors for characters. Now, some of the information that was leaked revolve around pictures. In my last video, I did mention that we could consider possible locations and could be based off Fallout games. Now, that may be confirmed from these pictures. Currently, according to one Twitter user, they're filming at the Brooklyn Army Terminal. There's also mentions that they've been filming in Montana as well, which is one of the areas that I think I had mentioned in the past. I know one of them was Virginia, so that was something along those lines. There are some set pictures that showcase vaults as well as people wearing vault suits. There are also door switches that are identical from those in game, so we're gonna have realistic items, locations, and we can also assume that vaults are gonna be at least part of a location that we're gonna be seeing in the show. Maybe they're in the vault and they move from inside, just like in the game you leave your vault and explore and wander out in the world. So that's gonna be interesting to see how they incorporate that into the show. Now, more on set pieces, we also have the Super Duper Mart that can be found in Fallout 3, which coincidentally takes place in the Capital Wasteland in Washington DC or Northern Virginia, and as well as Massachusetts. So the locations where filming is taking place are not that far-fetched from what we had speculated in my last video. From that, what this also tells us is that there may be multiple locations where the show is going to take place. If this is true, in my opinion, the show is going to be a little bit more interesting because we're not just following one character around the entire time. We'll have more than one perspective keeping us engaged the entire time. Thus, more stories that make up the entire show. Though having more than one point of view isn't part of the original games, this is a TV show, and we have to consider that it's pretty typical for changes like this to happen in order for the show to be engaging, right? You don't want to have a 30-minute, 40-minute plus episode and be bored the entire time. So that's always going to be a nice addition, at least in my opinion, but let's see if they can execute this well. But I digress. From the images, we can also see power armor, more specifically the T60 model, which is what the Brotherhood of Steel typically uses. This is also confirmed by the icon on the set armor matching that of the Brotherhood of Steel icon in game. Though this might not be a confirmation that they're going to be a main faction within the show, we can at least assume that they're going to play a part. Maybe the protagonist will have some sort of interaction with the Brotherhood of Steel, whether friendly, an enemy, or just a faction that is included and is seen from time to time within whatever wasteland they're in. What I will say is that based on the games, we can also theorize that the protagonist may have an opportunity to use a set of power armor. This is just something I've been speculating on, but who knows? These are just speculations on my part though. But that's not it. For characters, there are also pictures of Dogmeat or Dog from Fallout 4, Dogmeat being from Fallout 3, and someone holding what looks like to be a laser rifle. I'm not necessarily sure who this character is supposed to be. He does look like that character from Fallout 4, but what we can expect is to have accurate weapons as well. I think it's safe to say that what we covered so far will keep the show true to how the games are. I find this reassuring since I was skeptical in my last video. This could turn out to be another Halo series letdown. While we are not out of the woods yet in terms of quality for the show, it does seem promising based on what we've seen and hopefully what we keep seeing in the future until the show is actually released. Since my last video, there's been a lot more concrete information coming out. It's certainly made me a lot more excited and hyped about the show. Let me know what you think of what's been leaked so far and what are your impressions of the show based on the pictures we went over on this video. So that's all I've got for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, check out my other content, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.